Hi, Gemini. This is your home light security reading for the month of June, midway through the year. We have the full moon coming in Sag on the galactic center, more or less. So I'm getting a little bit of inner Jekyll and Hyde, really feeling in your power, and then really feeling afraid. Really over judgment. Really three-dimensional over judgment, meaning like you know better. And what I mean by know better is, what I'm getting is, step away from the three-dimensional and get into more of your deeper reasoning for being. Your deeper reasoning for this existence, this life, this moment. Not necessarily three-dimensional, but yet three-dimensional. Meaning, at the moment, this is the life and the air and the breath that you're breathing. Are you happy? Are you enjoying it? Or are you just manipulating and beating up on yourself? What do you want from your now? Because the sun is here. You're in your power. It is illuminating. But I'm feeling very Jekyll and Hyde-ish. Very one, vroom, vroom, vroom. I am seeing disappointment. Some is in others. Some is with yourself. Some anxiety that you're holding on to. Some heaviness that you're holding on to. But this all has to do with communication, shadow work, mirroring, and really getting more raw with yourself and your deeper reasoning for being. What does thyself want? And is this ego talking, or is it soul? And can you tell the difference according to your own responses to yourself? So that could be a very hard question in general. You have a lot of energy that's about to move into Gemini. So it's definitely right now the sun is here, but the sun's going to move out and everybody else is coming in. And then the sun's going to go into your second house of your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. And wow, well, I'm trying to figure out how to put that. They just gave me like corn on the cob. So this is in a form. This is, what is your harvest? What is the harvest you're receiving here from your soul? And are you harvesting on your own soul and your own, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, your own liberation, your own confidence, self-confidence, your own inner emotional security? Or are you harvesting false? That's gonna kind of kick back on you in a bad way. Not in a bad way, but in a 6 steps backwards way. So this is about being honest and truthful with yourself. What does okay. Tell me about Geminis. Spirit is saying stop worrying about other people, whether it's because it's being nosy, gossip, or their opinions. Screw it, is basically what they're saying. Stop worrying about others. Just worry about you. What does Gemini need to hear? What does Gemini need to hear for the month of June? What does Gemini need to hear for the month of June? Okay, can you lift the vibration? Because I'm not getting much of one. Please. And I appreciate you for all of your help in all of these readings, Spirit. What does Gemini need to hear? What does Gemini need to hear? What does Gemini need to hear? It is going Toad. For me, Toad is all about the shaman energy. It is going from one place to another. It is being in two realms at one time. Being able to walk 1 foot in the three-dimensional, 1 foot in the higher dimensions. Water and air. Well, 3 technically: water, air, earth. So this is about seeing things from all perspectives. That's the key. Seeing things from all perspectives, and then honoring, yes, I said honoring, that magic wand. Because there's a lot of creativity that's going on that's directing the next year, basically, starting right now, off of knowing your full wholeness, knowing your full, all 4 directions, your earth, air, wind, fire of yourself, knowing the Toad ability to shaman out and to be of all things, to come into your magic wand. This is asking you, are you in your Merlin? Are you in your Merlin? Or are you too obsessed that's actually throwing you out of balance? Is there anything else here? Anything else here for Geminis for the month of June? Thank you. I knew there was something else here. They gave me the besom. They didn't. It's funny because I don't think that's what it means in this deck. But when I picked up the besom, I got take out the trash. Just take out the trash. Take out the lower vibration. Take it out. No more. Take it out. Just sweep it out the door. We're sweeping out the negativity. We're sweeping it away. We're not going to deal with its fear. We're not going to deal with its lower vibration. There's nothing here to hold on to. Is there anything else? Yeah, of course there is. Hold on. What does Gemini need to hear for the month of June? Thank you. 8th house, endings and beginnings. Let me just say, take out the trash. I can't make this shit up. Let go of the low vibration. We're not dealing with it. We're not having it anymore. We're starting something new. Plain and simple. This is definitely also dealing with the zeal point, because if you're not letting go of it, then you're holding on to the action that's keeping you connected to the lower dimensions, and then it's going to be throwing off the throat. It's going to be throwing off the thymus. So this is definitely about making sure that you're staying in that higher vibration. The way you see and view the world around you is from the higher perspective, not from ego petty. That's really what I'm just getting. Next card out is the moon. Like I just said, getting into all that emotional stuff. This is the moon and the soul. But see, this is, for the way I'm picking this up, is, are you listening to the soul, or are you listening to the emotional indifferences? Are you letting them rule you? That's that Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, hold on. You guys are way I'm gonna shuffle that. You're way too much on top of each other for me to find. Earth element, stay grounded. Stay grounded. Oh, okay. I was hearing a noise and I was like, what? What am I hearing? My cat's down there. Stay grounded. This is about finding your security by tapping into you, standing in your power, standing in your force. 6th house. This is about, your daily routines, your daily mundane, believing that you're breathing in the healthy on a daily routine. And as you're breathing it in, you're going to find it shift into that higher vibration, or it's going to show you where it's completely throwing you off because you're not breathing it in. Oh, one. Now, Spirit is saying you do need to try to become more aware of your unconscious mind, and that does have a lot to do with what's going on in Taurus, and that I feel like that's just them telling me they want me to start in your 12th house, because normally I start wherever the sun is, but I'm feeling like they're telling me just start in your 12th house and then go all the way around. Now, you have Mercury, which is going to move into Gemini on the 13th. You have the full moon on the galactic center, pretty much across from you, on the 14th. Then you have the sun moving into Cancer, leaving your sign on the 21st. Then Venus moves into Gemini on the 22nd. You have the new moon taking place in Gemini on the 28th. You also have Neptune going retrograde on the 28th. And we have Saturn in retrograde, Pluto in retrograde, and Jupiter is technically in shadow. Just so that I've thrown everything out here at you. Spirit, from what I'm gathering, is wanting me to start with your 12th house, which is your hidden self, your unconscious mind, your self-sabotage, where you mentally block the healing, where your self-undoing takes place. It's your grief, your sorrow, your shame, your blame. It's where you don't want to view the truth because it can hurt, but it's ultimately what brings the most healing. All right? And it's loaded right now. It has Uranus in it. It has Venus in it. It has Pallas in it, the North Node in it, and technically until the 13th, it has Mercury in it. Now, your grief, your sorrow, your shame, your insecurities, your lies to yourself, your skeletons in the closet, what you're in denial of, I like to say a lot of times, it's what you sweep underneath the rug. It's right there in the room. It's right there, but because it's under the rug, I don't have to see it. Venus is tapping into your sensitivity about where you're not healing yourself and where you have been healing yourself, where the patterns you are continuously taking serve you versus where they don't, where it brings healing, lessons, values, helps you value yourself, or where it's taking from it. The North Node is trying to teach you what patterns have to be broken in order to bring the healing forward. Uranus is helping you to uncover levels of self-worth, self-value, self-esteem that you don't realize you aren't even acknowledging, that you aren't uncovering, that you've forsaken. Not on purpose, but that you've stopped communicating with, honestly, and slid it under the carpet so that you could forget. The 12th house is all about the healing that is needed in order to create the new beginning. It's acknowledging what we don't want to acknowledge, what we don't want to see, what we want to forsake and forget and walk away from. The grief, the sorrow, the shame, the blame, the insecurities, the lies we tell ourselves. And it's saying pay attention to the patterns that you're taking or that you have right now, because some of these patterns are only creating another level of insecurity, another level of stagnation, another level of going nowhere, instead of actually bringing your true soul self back to you. Now, here's the thing. They're all slowly, other than the North Node and Uranus. Uranus ain't going anywhere. But Venus is going to be coming into your sign on the 22nd. You have the new moon taking place at the end of the month. So you're going to have a lot of shadow work, a lot of mirroring work going on during the full moon that's going to help you to illuminate the character flaws, the character unconsciousness, and bring it into reality so you can face it and bring the healing forward and actually create a new cycle. But this is by realizing where these patterns take place that keep us stagnant, that keep us from healing, that keep us from moving forward, all based on the comfort zone of the lack of change. You have Athena, the warrior goddess, getting into that deeper wisdom. The wisdom and the healing is found by tapping into that truth. And then these energies are slowly going to start coming into Gemini, even though the sun will be coming out, and you'll have Mercury coming in. So you have Mercury, you have Venus, and that new moon coming in by the end of the month. Venus is not love. Venus tells you how to tap into what works for you and what does not. What is helping you caress and speak and charm what you want, why you love it and why you want more of it. But it also tells you about what betrayed you, what harmed you, what you're still holding on to and heavy weight and vampire syndrome. I call it vampire syndrome because it's like I'd rather continue to hold on to this horrifying thing because I need to bitch and moan about it than to drop it and walk away and find something better. And Venus is pointing out what's working and what doesn't, what helps and what hurts. Pallas eventually is going to come over here too, bringing her wisdom from that 12th house in. And if the healing's been made, then it can actually start to process a new cycle. But here's where the kicker happens. Ah! My cat knocked over my drink and everything, getting out of his little cat bed. Here's the kicker. Like I said, this energy is going to be illuminating itself as it goes through that full moon and Sag, showing it in forms in your relationships. And you may be pointing it out on this person because they do that, or this person because they do that. But ultimately, it could be a mirror of the things you're not healing within yourself as well. Because, like I said, full moon, Sagittarius, galactic center, it's bringing in the honing device on if you're ascending, if you're enlightening, if you're spiritually maturing and growing. It's actually a test. Sorry, but it is. And then it's going to give you the opportunity to break ground on the new beginning come your new moon, if you've been able to work through the truth of that full moon as it brings it all into light. But here's the kicker again. As the sun leaves Gemini and goes into Cancer, ultimately your second house is going in with Lilith, and it's going in with Sirius, not the Sirius star, Sirius. And see, Lilith in Cancer is more that mothering, nesting energy, where Lilith is usually a little bit more of a badass, a little bit more of, I stand in my fire and I stand up for what I believe, and this and this and this, a little bit of that ego, enough to possibly keep you balanced. Well, see, Lilith and Cancer on a universal scale is where we usually start to find the insecurity, because she becomes submissive. She's lacking in that independence because she's nurturing others at this point instead of nurturing herself. She kind of forsakes herself here. And she has to really work on that. Now, this is going into your second house, which is self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, value, liberation, submissive energy or not. This is where are you giving your power away versus standing in it versus having to threaten to get it. And Sirius here is all about nurturing or neglecting. So where are you nurturing your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem? Because the sun's going to start moving in at the end of the month, illuminating if you truly did succeed in this lesson that is taking place over this full moon with the galactic center. Because this is helping you make 3 steps forward instead of like 9 backwards. All right. This is a very powerful moment here of understanding what this new moon in your sign and this full moon can do ultimately to help you move forward. Now, you don't have anything else until you get to your 6th house, which is where the South Node is. And the 6th house came up in your cards. This is your daily routines, your mundane tasks. It is the mundane. The only reason it's mundane is because you do it so much that you don't realize how important it really is. It's the people, the places, and things of energies that you consume, which consume you. It is the food, the energy food of your diet. The South Node here says, I'm really good at doing this routine. I'm really good at doing it that way. I'm really good at the people, places, and things and making it work for me. But is it? That's the key. The South Node means that you're not moving forward. The South Node means that there has to be changes here. This is a comfort zone of stagnation. And this is asking, where are you more comfortable in your false identity, your false truths of being able to move forward when actually you're just standing still? People, places, and things of energies that you consume, which consume you. It's the energy diet that you are keeping. And are they supporting you truly getting honest and in depth with yourself? Because if these daily routines, these daily activities are not healthy, not up to par spiritually, then you can't move forward. I like to put it this way. You have your artists need to do their art every day, whether it's or at least a lot. You know, they need to be able to tap into their painting. They need to tap into, you know, their creative force. Sports people, you know, need to tap into practicing their sport. Drunks tap into their drunkenness. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being at the bar, but if you're at the bar every single day and you're not actually going after your dreams and your ambitions, then you're stagnant. You're not going to be moving forward. So where is the stagnation in the truth, your deeper reasoning for being within your daily routines? Because that's what the South Node is trying to teach you in order to move forward, where the pattern has to shift. Now you come into that 7th house, which is where I said the only thing that's here is going to be the full moon. That's the relationship zone. So the only place that the shadow can show itself a mirror to you is in the relationships, whether it's spouses, whether it's, you know, work friends, whether it's friends, family, you know, your coupling, whether it's your children, you know, anything you care about, you have a relationship with. So with the things that you care about, the people that you care about, are they showing you actually character flaws of yourself that you need to address and bring healing into your character in order to grow, in order to shift those daily mundane tasks, those routines that are actually keeping you stagnant? Is it part of showing you where you're not being liberated and truly soulfully connected to the depths of your deeper for reasoning? Like I said, it's going to show it, and then it's going to go around to your new moon, and it's giving you the lesson of how to shift and change. Now, when you get into, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your 8th house is where Pluto is. This is showing you again in that deeper reasoning for being, and these daily routines, these daily energies, these daily activities. Are you setting the proper rules, walls, and boundaries that allow you to grow, to allow you to regenerate into newer, healthier levels of you? Because you have Pluto here, and Pluto's in retrograde. So he's doubling down on the rules, the walls, the boundaries of the relationship, and if they're healthy or not. Then when we go into your 9th house, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, your 9th house. We're right back in the same spot. Saturn just went retrograde. 9th house. Your honor, your reputation, no. Your higher self. Your deeper reasoning for being in general. Your now, your ethics, your morals, your spiritual truth. Are you in your spiritual truth? Are you only in enough of a spiritual truth to be comfortable? Are you only facing enough of the ethics and the morals that make you comfortable? Are you digging deep into the truth of the truth, the hidden truths that actually identify with your higher self, but with your now as well? Because these are rules, walls, and boundaries. These are taking a chance and trying to step into new spiritual aspects, trying to see things through new eyes, through eyes that are, I'm being given the way to explain it. It's actually a rune, because I also read runes. They're saying seeing the big picture. Are you able to see the big picture and then shift the rules, walls, and boundaries to apply? And what I mean by that is if you look on your wall and you see, you know, the different pictures on the wall, or the shelves on the wall, or maybe the wall has, you know, shelves on 2 sides with knickknacks on it, and there's a window in the middle of the wall. Are you looking at the window? Are you looking out the window? Or are you standing back to see out the window what's going on out there, but you're also able to see the shelves on the wall? What I'm trying to get at is, are you seeing the wall? Maybe the wall needs painting. Maybe the shelf is all nicked up and you need a new shelf. Maybe pictures need a new frame. Or are you just looking out the window into the great wide open? Are you seeing the big picture here? And what rules, walls, and boundaries need to be shifted in order to address that big picture? so that you can actually create everything around you and start to step into the bigger truth by seeing the truth. Now, as you go out of your 9th house and you go into your 10th house, this is where Neptune is about to go retrograde at the end of the month, the same day as the full moon. The new moon in your sign. And this is your 10th house, the outer world and its authority. Magic. Are you seeing what is truthfully being created around you? Are you seeing what you want to see? Will you be able to breathe life into the dream, the desire, the goal, your honor, your reputation, your prestige, the authority of the outer world by stepping into the authority of the full circumference of you? Follow through with your talents is what they just said. Follow through with your talents, follow through with your spiritual skills. No half-assing it. Are you going to be able to come full circle here and bring this into a new level? Because Neptune is going retrograde. Or will it be showing you where you're just creating stagnation? You're not really bringing it into fruition. It's just a dream in your mind that one day I'll accomplish, but one day is not today. And that's the question. And then we get into your 11th house. Now, this is where it starts to take a little bit of a trick, because you have Jupiter in the 11th house, which happens to be Aries for you, which is, on a universal scale, new beginnings. Ideas and bringing new things into fruition, and let's start them. But see, Jupiter is the higher self. But see, Jupiter is in shadow, so he's looking at where you're not looking at things. He's looking at where you abundantly are in denial. And so do I want to continue to play this game? Do I want to continue to walk this path? Am I willing to shift my path and actually create a new story dealing with the people, places, and things of energies that you consume, your outer world, your outer community, your outer committees, memberships, groups? Do they support the goals, dreams, ambitions? Do they support your honor, your reputations, your prestige? Or do they show you where maybe you're not holding up to par? Because if it's not all in place properly with the proper rules, laws, and boundaries here, then it's going to backtrack, taking the authority away. Not to mention, Jupiter will retrograde back. It's going to go retrograde at the end of July and then start working its way back into Pisces, the universal 12th house, into your outer world's authority and the financial situation, into your financial creating of energies, your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your financial success, your social foundations. This all has to do with, are you surrounded by the right peers? Are you seeing who they really are? Are you seeing what they bring to the table as far as supporting your growth, your ambition, your dreams, your honor, your reputation, your prestige, because you run in the same crowd? Is this hurting you or hindering you or supporting you and helping you grow? Jupiter, higher knowledge, abundance, but he's going to be going back into that 12th house. This is a lesson, like I said, helping you to move forward right now with what he's showing you and bringing that manifestation in. Or when he goes backwards in retrograde, he's going to make you take like 6 steps backwards. and work through it all over again. That's not what you want. I'm just giving you the truth. And then we come into your actual 12th house, starting all over again with, are you truly seeing your deeper reasoning for being at this time, where you're wanting to go? Are you able to go there? What's keeping you between your beliefs, your value, your knowledge, and the peers and whatnot that you keep? Is it all in alignment or not? Only you know. I love you guys. Bye.